this is a test for the new, well, it's not really a new camera, it's just a smaller camera. Interesting to see how the it all comes out. Sorry about the crude video. What I'm using is a Samsung 8 megapixel camera, but it's one of those compacts with a very small lens on the front. It's kind of like, well, it's difficult to say. It's pink for a start. It's the wife's camera. My colour, I'll tell you that. Well, not today, only on a Wednesday. Right, let's try that out. Okay, into the flight tube. So, hopefully I'm not too much onto that. Right. On the coffee today, so I don't know if you saw that, but it's not too bad actually, and it's 8:19 in the morning. Oh, 8:20. It's a bit slow running my computers these days, unfortunately. I keep upgrading Windows, and it keeps just taking up more of my bloody memory, which is pissing me off to say the least. Right, I was going to fly around Sweden just for shits and giggles. I've never done it before actually. I don't know if there's much there, so I'm just going to have a quick look. I sold something on eBay and I thought, send that to Sweden. I wonder what's in Sweden. So I thought I'd have a little look. I usually like to go to the international airports, but I can't find them. There's a lot of cities. Oh my gosh. Wow. There's a lot of shit there, isn't there? I suppose I'll just go to an Air Force base. Let's try change the time just in case. I'm not going to take out the microwave because that'll probably be the most boring video you've ever seen. Right, I don't want to go for the beach car because they're nice and easy to fly, and if it's a short runway it'll be quite good. Yeah, that's a choice. Slow, fast or medium. I do like the American flight thingamajigs, but they do sort of fly in the other direction sometimes. I'll tell you what, let's check out a Cessna Caravan. Not too bad actually, they're quite fast considering they're a single engine and they're a passenger jet usually. I think it's about 12-seater. Something I tend to notice though about the Cessna, what do you call it, the Cessna Caravan, is it's just a nice sort of cockpit in comparison to the 172, which is, well, obviously it's basic 172 and it's meant for a training plane, but I just tend to find that this Cessna Caravan is just a little bit nicer. It's in between sort of, I suppose, like a Boeing and a you know, what, single engine aircraft as it is. I do apologise about the loading time. I'm sure there's many computers these days, as my friend has said, oh, you should just upgrade. I'm sure it's only £500, but I just don't have £500 now. I'm married, so £5 is difficult these days. Right, I certainly hate that bloody window, so let's get rid of that. Let's put that as a virtual cockpit. Oh, bumholes, I forgot to switch the sound on. Let's have a quick little look, see what we've got. So yeah, as you can see the cockpit, I mean, I tell you what, it's really zoomed in. I find zooming out is a bit easier. You've got a beautiful sort of layout. You've got all the switches you need, you know, you've got your rudder, you've got elevator and things like that, which is great. You know, you can pull back and then you can pull down your elevator or do your trim if you want to use your rudder. The only thing is you don't really know, like when you're flying a real plane, you can pull back and then when you push that round you can feel the tension. in a simulator you can't feel the tension because there's just nothing set up like that. So you kind of have to guess it. There is a small pointer somewhere on the wheel, and I don't know if that's it. It might be. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I could try it. Let's bring it back. Oh yeah, see, that does work. I'll tell you what that usually does on the outside of the planes is it adjusts the ailerons slightly so that it's constantly pulling up. I mean, it might be such a minute difference that you can't see it on the simulator. Anyway, should we take off and play around? So I'm going to just go full throttle. I suppose this is a review for you because I normally go right into the cockpit mode. This is like flying on the back seat. Oh, look, the ladders go out. See, it's taking me off runway and I haven't even touched the throttle yet. Well, obviously the throttle, I haven't even touched the yoke as such. I had to just correct it. I'll tell you what, having that elevator, I'll tell you what, look at that, that's just an auto takeoff, that's pretty quite cool. But I'm going to put it back up again because I want to have control of my plane. So I suppose theoretically you could control the plane from the trim, well sorry, from the elevator. You're being lazy I suppose. It's generally me most days. Let's go to the outside of the plane because this is quite an interesting takeoff. It wasn't such a bad runway actually. It's got a nice length. I might take off from there again. Ooh, there's a little city behind us. I might have a little look at that. It's just really nice and easy to control the Cessna Caravan. It's got a nice sound to it as opposed to that whirring sound of the Cessna 172. And you're like, bloody hell. You know, even when you're actually flying a 172, I have flown one. Normally on the 172 you've got a door there. It's kind of held together like a wardrobe door. It rattles like a motherfucker when you're actually flying. It's very sort of off-putting, particularly when you're doing manoeuvres like this. Say for instance you want to bank to the left. There's a door, it's rattle, 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 and you're like, there's like a 1,000-foot drop there. You know, you certainly don't want to fall out. And I do find as well, and no disrespect to Red Hill Aerodrome or Red Air, they're great fun to fly with, but bloody hell, they need to change those seatbelts. Their seatbelts all fluffy. You're like, kind of like, first of all, I've got a rattly door over here. Second of all, my seatbelt's all fluffy. It looks like it's going to snap. And third of all, I'm in a single engine that's built in 1970. I'll tell you what, it's, it's a little bit off-putting, but you know, that's life, I suppose. As they say, you've got to die of something. I think I'd rather not fall out of a plane. I think I'd rather just die like in my sleep, like most people. But still, there you go. I normally have music on, but do you know what? I keep getting these. Every time I upload a video, I keep getting Universal Music saying, "Oh, we own that piece of music, so we're going to take control of your video." Now, I'll be totally honest with you. I don't make very much money out of my videos. I do monetize them if I can. You know, pay for extra beer money, but you know, when the world bastard is like I bought my CD. I like certain pieces of music. I might like Mumford and Sons or Michael Jackson, or I might listen to Enigma. It's my bloody music. I bought the CD, you know, I own the license as such for that particular track. But as soon as you upload it to YouTube, they say, no, you don't own it anymore. You know, bollocks to you. You're now airing it to a public audience, so you can either pay us the £5,000 fee, or we'll take control of your video and you make nothing out of it. I'll be honest with you, there's a video I've got which is of the flight chair. It's had about 18,000 hits and I've made about £15. So spending £5,000 for a license just doesn't cut it for me. It's not worth it. I'm not the sort of guy who gets a million hits. I'm not the sort of guy who uploads crap bloody videos of my cat slipped off a toilet. It's like, bloody hell, of course it's going to slip off a toilet. It's, you know, you can't grip to the thing. They're designed for, you know, climb out trees. Anyway, I don't need to go on about that shit. quite picturesque actually. I was going to fly over the city, wasn't I? Sorry about that. Oh look, there's a little runway over there. I'll tell you what I might do, I might just flip round and go over the city. What's that altitude? What's that, 4,500? Just over? Or is it coming up to 4? I might bank left. Although it does seem like, oh no, maybe not. I was going to say it seems higher than 4,000 feet, but yeah, it's probably not actually. Not even up the clouds. Oh, I'll tell you what I do like. I like this little function. I didn't switch it on today, but you can switch on real weather, which is great. So if you wanted to fly, say, like, I mean, terrible idea, I suppose, but when the ash cloud went off, you know, at Iceland, you could punch in real weather and it'd tell you not to fly on the air traffic control. Also, what it did as well was it you know, does make the sky all grey and gusts of wind and stuff. Just makes it a bit more interesting. I mean, Flight Simulator is, you know, okay if you're drunk or, you know, if you're really into it. I find it quite relaxing, but just to make it a little bit more interesting, it's quite good to put real weather on, you know, or programming failures and things like that. This is just a leisurely flight to test out the camera, so I really haven't done anything like that for this. But maybe I could make some videos for that. You have to let me know if you want them. I forgot what I was going to do. Oh, there's a town. The other thing as well, I mean, really, I know that it's a sensitive issue with the 911, and apparently the pilots learned to fly on Flight Simulator to crash it into the buildings, but it would be quite good in some respects if you know, Microsoft made a Flight Simulator where it did show actual crashes or actual damage to your plane, as opposed to then switching you off. Or, you know, I mean, as I said on a previous video, if you clipped a tree with your wheel, you might take a landing gear off, you know, you might cause a bit of damage. That might be another interesting way to land. Oh, you know what, we've got damaged landing gear, let's try and land. Whereas Microsoft seems to have switched that off because it was a bit sensitive to do with the 911. Let's be honest, this game came out, you know, what, 7 years after 911? They could have wrote it in. I don't know, maybe it's just too much programming power. I know this particular program takes up a lot of computer power. I mean, even with the computer the way I've got it, I still don't run it to full spec. Not because I can't, it's just because, well, yeah, some of it is because I can't. I mean, it basically slows down too much. I think what I'll do is I'll land the video. I think I'll land the plane and see how we get on with the video. As I say, it's just a test, and I do find sometimes, which is very frustrating, is the video, what do you call it? It switches off halfway through because it runs out of memory, or the battery doesn't handle it. Depends on how shit your camera is. The thing is, I've got a really expensive, decent camera, and I thought, well, do you know what? This is going to be great. I'll use my expensive camera, and the problem is it was so good it could see the pixels on the screen. And it was just like, that's just no good to me. You know, I'm trying to make a video here, and I can see the pixels on the screen, and you know, the hertz. It may be the same with this. This is probably not a very good landing, but you know, I just wanted to sort of glide it in, really. I like to shut the engines down. I think it's just great fun. I'm sure I got a good landing. There you go, it's not too bad, is it? I mean, yeah, I could land at air traffic control and do all that bollocks and switch on the taxi, but I really can't be asked. It's just a small video. Yeah, so there you have it. I mean, right, I'm going to just stop the plane, because I better not steer off that one. Slow down enough. I'll tell you what though, that bloody steering thing, speedometer, look at that, that's fucking pathetic. Oh, what an awful speedometer. It's probably a real one as well. Where's that zoom gone? Bloody awful. It's like I can barely read it. It's got too much green on it. Right, can I zoom in? Was it control zoom? No. Shift zoom? No. How about plus? Oops. It zoomed out a minute ago. Now it won't zoom in more because the engine's off. What a piece of shit. Anyway, that's the end of the video, and I shall upload it and see how it goes. Oh, it is still filming.